Today, we are diving into a really fascinating and, let's be honest, pretty radical blueprint for an entire education system. It's this super structured philosophy, and we're going to explore its core ideas pulled directly from the source document itself. So, to really get our heads around this thing, we're going to look at it through 5 key themes. We'll kick off with its wild foundation, then jump into the high stakes world of the students. After that, we'll see who holds the power, how success gets rewarded, and wrap it all up with a really uncompromising rule on free speech. Okay, let's start at the beginning with the blueprint itself. This first part is all about the foundational ideas that basically prop up every other rule in this whole framework. And there it is, right out of the gate. This one sentence really defines the entire system. It's blunt, and it tells you immediately that this philosophy isn't about everyone holding hands. Nope. This is about forging an elite through some seriously relentless, cutthroat competition. But this intense competition isn't just there for the drama. It actually has a clear purpose. The whole system is designed to push practical, tangible skills, stuff you can actually use, way ahead of just theoretical knowledge. And that competition? Well, that's the tool they use to make sure only the absolute best make it through. So how does a philosophy this intense actually play out in the daily life of a student? That's what we're digging into next. What it really feels like to live with this level of competition and, the consequences that come with it. The slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The 2 very different paths a student can go down. The prize for being at the top is huge, a totally free university education. But that bar is set incredibly high. You need an A+ in maths or science, and it's capped. Only the top 1,000 students per institution get it. And the flip side? Well, if you drop out or get kicked out, you're on the hook for the full cost of the entire course. There is absolutely no safety net here. Which brings us right back to this number, 10%. And this isn't about failing a final exam at the end of your degree. We're talking about every single academic year. The bottom 10% are just removed. Can you imagine that constant pressure, knowing that your rank isn't just for a spot on the honor roll, it's for your survival in the system? And this whole pressure cooker environment is fueled by 2 big rules. First, total transparency. Every single test score you get is public knowledge. It creates this constant, very visible leaderboard for everyone to see. And second, the system is completely closed off. The source is specific. No foreign students allowed. The competition is purely domestic, all focused on building up homegrown talent. So we've seen the insane pressure on the students. But what about the schools and universities themselves? Well, this blueprint totally rewrites their power structure, pulling authority away from the staff and putting it all right at the very top. Yeah, the power here is extremely centralized. The heads of these institutions get the explicit right to fire any teacher or academic they think is underperforming. At will. No questions asked. And just to make sure that power is absolute, all teachers' unions are completely outlawed. That removes any kind of collective protection for the staff. And this competition isn't just for the students. The schools are pitted against each other, too. As you can see from this chart, government funding is not spread around evenly. Not at all. It is overwhelmingly funneled to the top-performing institutions. This creates a really fierce battle between schools to grab the best students and teachers to get the best results and the most money. Now, in the middle of all this cutthroat battling for funds, there is one surprising little sanctuary. Library budgets are explicitly protected from any cuts, no matter what. This suggests that deep down, there's a core value placed on having access to information. But even this protected money gets a yearly audit to make sure there's no waste or fraud. Every dollar has to be accounted for. Okay, so the system is built on some pretty harsh consequences, but it's not all stick and no carrot. It also has a really powerful set of rewards. So let's take a look at how success is incentivized, especially when it helps out the nation as a whole. First up, the best educators get rewarded directly. The top-performing teachers and academics in the entire country receive some pretty hefty financial bonuses each year. This ties their own personal success directly to how well their students are doing. Second, academic achievement isn't some quiet, behind-the-scenes thing. It's turned into a national spectacle. The government actually subsidizes these huge academic competitions, and the winners are celebrated publicly and get a ton of prize money. It makes being smart a source of national pride. And finally, bringing it all back to that initial goal of practical skills, the system directly rewards useful innovation. So, inventors who create patents that actually benefit the state are publicly celebrated and given awards, creating this clear path from what you learn in school to contributing to the nation. All right, our final section covers a principle that runs right alongside this super rigid competitive structure. And it's one that might seem like a total contradiction, but it's treated as an absolute: the free speech mandate. The source material is crystal clear on this. It says that free speech and the right to debate have to be a core part of the ethos of every single institution. This isn't just a friendly suggestion. It is a fundamental, non-negotiable requirement for every school and university. And believe me, this mandate has some serious teeth. Any institution that gets caught infringing on these rates faces some pretty devastating penalties. We're talking massive fines, severe budget cuts, or the ultimate punishment, having their certification completely revoked, which would basically shut them down for good. This shows just how critical free and open debate is to the entire system. So there you have it, a blueprint for education that's built on rootless sufficiency, high-stakes competition, and an unbreakable rule about free discourse. It is a system engineered from the ground up to churn out excellence and serve the state. Which really just leaves us with one final crucial question to think about. In that pursuit of excellence, what's the human cost?